Hey people, I don't feel like showing face because I'm sick. I'm sore. My body is. I got shot up at airsoft yesterday, so my eye is fucked up. So I'm just gonna. I know this is like almost a year. This is like almost a year old, but now that Trump is president, I'm gonna review what she says in this video and basically debunk the whole thing. I might agree with her because I do not like Republicans. I'm one of those liberals that is a liberal Democrat, but I'm not one of those. Trump and Republicans are going to ruin America. I just think, I just don't like Republicans, except for my parents. They're like the only Republicans I like, and that's because they're my parents.
We talked about Hillary versus Bernie, but now let's focus on the bigger threat, Republicans.
By the way, shut up. The Hillary versus Bernie, and then Hillary versus Trump is kind of like the lightsaber duel in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Hillary Clinton, Darth Maul, defeats Qui-Gon Jinn, Bernie Sanders, who should have been president, and then she goes on to fight Qui-Gon Jinn, Donald Trump, and Donald Trump beats her and cuts her in half. If only he had done that in real life.
Hey y'all.
I wish she would go braless. She looks like she's wearing a bra. I hate Laci Green because she's a stupid fucking feminist. I'm like rad feminist who sees sexism in ways that just, but she is hot. You gotta give her that. She is hot, and she's got big boobs.
Well, I think that a lot of people look at what's going on with the GOP right now and think, oh my god, it's so ridiculous, and it's just a sideshow more than anything else. But these people...
That's politics. Politics is a ridiculous sideshow, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. Ooh, I'm using a Bill Nye the Science Guy word, spectrum.
Could absolutely be the president. We should all just let that sink in for a sec. What kind of world could we be living in 5 years down the line? Ted Cruz, who's the scariest candidate in my opinion, would...
Really? You think Ted Cruz is the scariest?
Abortion is completely banned, including the case of rape and incest.
Where? No, he did not. He just thinks that abortion on demand. I'm a liberal I'm a liberal Democrat, and I do think we should limit abortion. Yeah, and that's mostly because of Christianity not controlling women's bodies.
Cruz believes that birth control induces abortion.
It sort of is. It's life begins at conception, and birth control does sort of prevent
And wants contraceptive access restricted, a big part of why he's relentlessly railed against Obamacare. He's voted to defund Planned Parenthood.
As well as Trump should.
Because it's an assault on our liberty.
I don't agree when people blow up abortion clinics, but I do believe they need to be shut down.
And by that he means an assault on men's liberty to control women's bodies.
As I just said, it's an objection to abortion because we are pro-life, because we are Christians. Now, because Ted Cruz was born in Canada, I don't care who his parents were, if they were Americans. He wasn't born here. They allowed him to try to run for president, and yet people were acting like they act like Obama was born in Kenya, which he wasn't, yet they say he shouldn't have been president because he was born in Kenya, even though he wasn't. It's like, you're saying this shit about Obama being born in Kenya and therefore shouldn't be president, but you're allowing a Canadian to run for president? Idiot.
And Cruz, like all the GOP candidates, doesn't think that paid leave is something that should be required by the government.
It shouldn't. You had a choice to have sex with your man and have a baby. We're not going to pay you to watch over your kid. We'll pay you to work. If you get hurt on the job, well, that's paid leave that's justified. If you get hurt on the job and it's the company's fault, then paid leave is justified. But just because you have a baby, we're not going to pay you to spend time with your kid. We'll pay you when you get back to work.
Which hurts women and children and men benefits CEOs, though. Nice. Now, Trump is also on the bandwagon and tweeted, quote,
That's what companies do. They benefit CEOs.
26,000 unreported sexual assaults in the military and only 238 convictions. What did these geniuses expect when they put men and women together, unquote? Oh, I don't know, Trump. Maybe people expected men to not rape their coworkers? Maybe they expected rapists to be held accountable? Just an idea.
They are held accountable. It's just that women, for some stupid reason, most women don't report, and men don't report sexual assault. I forgot to add men because men are less likely to report their sexual assault from women because men are suspected to be manly and just man up. No one ever tells a woman to woman up.
And while other GOP candidates have treaded more lightly on racial issues, Trump can't seem to shut up about them. He's called
He can't shut up at all. He's Donald Trump. And he talks with his hands like he's Italian. I know he's from New York, but he's not Italian. He's fucking white Anglo-Saxon Protestant and a hint of Scottish because of his mother.
Mexicans rapists, wants to deport all immigrants.
No, he wants to deport illegal immigrants, although I do, that is one reason. That's another reason I can't like him. Yeah, I get it. He fucked up when he called Mexicans rapists, but he doesn't want to deport all immigrants. He wants to deport the illegals. You know, people should come here, get their green cards or visas or whatever. They shouldn't just walk in here thinking they own the place.
Build a wall between U.S. and Mexico.
I'm a little hesitant about the financial costs, but we do need a wall. And not just between U.S. and Mexico. We need to keep out those freaking socialist Canadians out. Also, I heard that that's how the 9/11 hijackers got in here. They came in through Canada.
And have Mexico pay for it?
Okay, yeah, I get that. That was pretty stupid. But he was like, boasting. He was just, trying to get people to vote for him. If you can, politics has shown that you get that the more ridiculous things you say, the more people will vote for you, even though the popular vote really doesn't do anything. It's been shown 5 times that it's the big wigs in the electoral college that choose the president, not the people itself. If democracy in America was fair, Al Gore would have been president instead of that warmonger George Bush. Now, I do think Al Gore would have gone into Afghanistan, to take out the Taliban that helped 9/11, but not Iraq just for the sake of oil.
He wants to ban all Muslim travel to the U.S.
For 90 days. It's not permanent. No, she doesn't say ban all Muslim travel to the U.S. for 90 days. Or was it 120? Well, anyway, it's not permanent, you dumb fuck.
It's like I'm David at the dentist. Like, is this real life? The answer is yes. It is real life. These are some obvious failings of
Oh, right, the whole 90-day thing. This was before he was actually elected. Fuck.
the GOP frontrunners. But where things get sneaky is with economics. People think, okay, maybe Trump's a little crazy, but he speaks his mind, and he's a money guy, so he'll help the economy, right? Well, it's a little more complicated than that. The past few decades, the right has done a fantastic job at convincing working class people to vote against their own interests. During the Bush Sr. and Reagan administrations, Republicans convinced the country that deregulation of businesses and tax cuts for the wealthy would result in a trickle-down effect. But the only thing that trickled down was bullshit. The data shows that the Reaganomics.
Why does she censor herself? Why do people like Hunter Avalon censor their words? Just say bullshit. Fuck. I don't know.
Republicans are so fond of to this day has caused wealth to pool at the top and hindered economic growth in a serious way. It's created a permanent underclass of people bound by debt, working long hours for low wages, with very little buying or bargaining power. Like Bush Sr. and Reagan, Trump wants tax breaks for the wealthy. Cruz wants to continue the legacy by abolishing the IRS and implementing a flat tax, where multi-billionaires pay the same tax rate as people living in poverty.
What's wrong with that? They're paying the same amount.
It's a policy that burdens the poor, and it maintains a cycle of poverty.
How? How is this happening? She just says this shit and doesn't provide any evidence. She doesn't go provide any articles or links to any videos, and she doesn't explain how this happened. She just says, "This is what's gonna happen. Trust me, because I'm a feminist. Because I'm Laci Green. Because I got huge tits." Seriously, holy shit! I don't like Laci Green, but I'd motorboat those things.
which disproportionately
I'd pump and dump her.
affects women
I'm against pumping and dumping, but this is like the one time I would do that.
and people of color. A GOP economic
Wait, what?
maintains a cycle of poverty, which disproportionately affects women and people of color.
No, it doesn't. Poverty affects everyone, including white males. In fact, if it wasn't for my parents, if my parents had either died or decided to kick me out, I'd be living on the streets. Unfortunately, I have not had that much success. I'm still looking for a job, but if my parents decide to kick me out, or if they both, died in a crash or a nuclear explosion, I think about nuclear explosions way too much, I would be on the street. I would be begging or going or holding a sign that says, well, I'm looking for work. Like in that Law and Order episode where Mexicans were like, or Hispanics were on the road. Every time a car passed by, they go job, 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 job.
Now, GOP economic policies, from parental leave to minimum wage to pay gap to welfare, stand staunchly against wealth redistribution among
Wealth redistribution is for socialists.
the super wealthy. But this
Oh my God. This is a capitalist country. Why are feminists and SJWs so anti-capitalist? What is so wrong with a free market?
redistribution of resources is critical, not just for basic survival and quality of life, but also because it's one of the first steps to generating social equality. If people are preoccupied with just surviving, it makes it impossible for them to demand and advocate for equal treatment. Money is power in a capitalist society.
What's wrong with that?
Health inequality and deregulation are intricately woven with crime, public health, nutrition, climate change, and a whole bunch of other problems in America. Better economic policies won't fix everything, but they'll set the stage for us to do a whole lot more than we could otherwise. So in my opinion, instead of fighting about the primaries, there's a lot of work to be done in deconstructing how GOP economic policies have and will hurt conservatives who aren't extremely wealthy. That's my 2 cents anyway. What's yours? Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you on Braless next week. Suddenly, these women were being blamed for the problems that they were.
This video has disabled. This bitch has disabled all her comments, so you can't let her know what you think. You can only either like or dislike. And well, this idiot, she doesn't really say much about Trump's America. She just takes the time to blast Republicans, which I do appreciate because I don't like Republicans either. But what is with feminists and SJWs hating capitalism and a free market? It's like Shoe on Head's last video about sex bots. The feminist bitching about sex bots uses the word capitalist patriarchy. Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna go jack off. So, anyways, it's my video. Like and or comment or subscribe or whatever. Stay out there, stay American as always. May the force be with you.